Hello and welcome to bookbinding demonstration of this wooden covered Coptic stitch book with holes. We got holes drilled on the front, the spine, and then holes punched in the sections that line up with those holes. So the tools that we'll need include a sewing needle, like this, a bone folder, and some thread. And it's helpful if you have wax, like with a candle, beeswax candle, or any sort of candle, you can wax that thread as well to keep it strong as we're sewing. So we just pass the thread through a couple of times. Just by putting your finger down and pulling on it. And we're ready to go. I'm going to switch the camera around for a better view and we'll get started. Okay, so our first step in sewing this book is to remove all of the sections but one and the top cover, and to flip them over and just set them aside so that we can easily flip them back on when we need to add them. We'll start inside the section in the first hole like this, to the outside like that, and leave yourself a couple inches of a tail to tie a knot. Then we'll make sure that this hole on the board edge is going to the front of the book, and it is, so that's good. Put it in that hole and pull it through. Next, we'll flip this board over so we can see our holes here. And we'll go down into the hole right beside the one that we just came out of. So we'll go into the inside of the cover and pull it tight. Not too tight, leave that tail. And then go to the front of the board through the other hole like that. Cinch everything up pretty tight and repeat that process, which is, I suppose, optional. You could stop with just one thread, but it's a little bit tighter with two. So I'll show that method. Two wraps, and we'll come out that angled hole again. And it's easier to flip, I find, and then go into the section through the section's hole. Tight, go out the next hole, and then once that's tight, you can tie off this first knot here with a double knot, 1 and 2. And then again, go through the angled hole on the edge of the board. Flip over the board and do a double wrap. Go on the inside, pull tight, and then with the second hole to the front, pull tight. And when you're pulling tight, be sure that the cover is in the closed position, because if it was in the open and we yank on it, it would want to stay open. So always remember to close it and pull tight. And one more wrap. Pull tight and go through that angled hole once more. And go into the section inside here and pull tight. And go to the next hole, and we'll just keep doing this process of in and out and wrap around the two holes here. First do the angled hole and then wrap it around. Just making sure this section is snug and flush with the cover, and pull tight. Now at the last station, do the same thing again. And this time we'll go out the angled hole, pull it tight, and then unfold it and add a section right on top. Make sure the holes line up all along, and they do. And we'll go right up and into that first hole here. Pull it tight and out the second hole. And then we'll go in between the board and the first section with our needle, put it in that space, and we're going to wrap it around that line of thread that we just made. So open it to where you find the needle, between the board and the first section, and then put it out that space to the left of the thread there. Linking it around. Pulling it tight. And re-enter that same hole. And repeat that step of linking in between the board and the first section. Open it up. Wrap it around and pull it tight. Oops. Sorry about that. Then re-enter that hole. And we'll keep going along in that same pattern. The links should look something like that. And then at the last station, we'll go out, pull it tight, and then do a kettle stitch at this last station, which is slightly different. We'll go from, still in between the board and the first section, but, oh, there we go. But we'll go from the left side of this last station out the top of the book, pull it a little bit, and then we've formed this little loop. And we'll put our needle through the loop, as in making a knot, and then pull that tight. Look something like that. Now bone fold, and at our next section, we'll go up and in, out. And then we'll go in between the first and second section with our needle. Around to the right. And pull tight. Re-enter that same station. And then go to the next one. In between, wrap it around, pull tight. And when we come to the last station, come out and do the same thing of putting our needle between the first and second section and push it out the top, leave yourself a loop, and then go through it and pull it tight to make a knot or a petal stitch. Bone fold, keep the swell down on the spine, and add, this is my last section, however, just to keep the demo going, but you could add 4 or 5 more sections if you'd like. And it would be the same pattern of going back and forth in this link type of stitch. So this time, since we're going in the right direction, we go to the right of each station. And going this time under the third, let's see, there, between the second and third section is where I put the needle. Always one section down. So we can show that better here. So I'm inserting between the second and third there, open it up and wrap it around. And pull it tight. It's nice to be able to pass it off between your two hands, something that takes a little bit of time. It's not quite ambidextrous, but doing the inside work with your left hand and the outside with your right can make it go a lot faster. Then petal stitch in between the second and third sections, goes out the top and through the loop, pull it tight. Wonderful, then add your next cover when you're ready, front or the back. And to do that, our first step is to go through the angled hole. Pull it tight. And then these steps are the same as the first board, just in reverse. So we'll do a double wrap. A pair of holes. Here's one. Pull it tight. And again. Pull it tight. And go out the angled hole. And you could either go right into the hole of the section or do a link, which I kind of like to do a link stitch. It helps it be a little bit stronger. And just finding that hole can be a little bit of a challenge. There it is. Go back into the section, then the second hole. Go through the angled hole and up. Double wrap. Just the inside to the outside. And once again, inside to outside. Go out the angled hole. And link if you want. Go through, you can either go around or through the thread that's there. And to go around it. Tight. Inside, double wrap. Go out the angled hole. Do a link. Through. Dang, I might have had just enough thread. Oh my gosh. For our last one, it's basically the same process. one last kettle stitch, which go under the last section, through the loop, pull it tight, and then back, sneaking in to the hole, and we'll tie off a knot, just a double knot, slipping underneath the last loop of thread. Not all the way, so we can put our needle through the loop and tie a knot. And then again, through the loop to tie a double knot. Tie off or cut off the last bit of thread. Just like this. You can fray the end if you want. Just for a nice finished look. Kind of helps it from sticking through. And there we have it. I guess we could cut that one too. We're almost there. Almost there. And there we are. Finished book. So there's our finished book structure. Good luck with the process, and let me know if you have any questions by email or next time that we're on Zoom. Thanks so much.